Hello, welcome to Line War. Today we have Whyeie versus Daravenrk. Both players seem to have 2 times handicap, meaning they start with double of almost everything. They can start in 2 different locations after picking their first location and have 5,200 credits each, remembering that each territory costs 200 credits during this phase. As we can see, Whyeie has been a bit unfortunate in the picking phase and is starting away from the main island. I was surprised to see that they didn't go for a second location in the right hand side of the map, instead using the second pick to set up a trade route instantly, with an energy well as well. And it looks like they're moving to the main island very soon, while supported by air, pretty much just ecoing up, preparing to cross the water. Daraven starting with the town, actually going for air and navy, setting up some energy and eco along with it, which is pretty similar to the way Whyeie started. He is expanding across the land, but I think he's pretty aware of where Whyeie started. He could have started on the right hand side, but Daraven is just taking precautions, making sure he knows exactly where the opponent's going, so he's setting up a good navy now just to be aware of the situation that he's actually in. So right, here we are, now we can see everything that's going on. We got Whyeie's transport boats coming across over here, which will eventually get discovered by Daraven, who's bringing down his units this way. He is mostly just capturing territory. I think he's possibly wondering about whether Whyeie started over this way. He will probably find out very soon, mostly by land, that he didn't. He hasn't actually got any navy out just yet, but he's going for a transport boat. I don't know if that was on purpose, but if it was, it wouldn't be a bad idea to get some units across here straight away. We're getting some more barracks set up now. We've got 3 in a line over here. And Whyeie's getting a foothold on the island down in the south here, which is going to be good because that's an extra trade route for him if he can hold that section. And after that, he is just going across here. They've probably noticed each other by now as they're claiming territories right next to each other. And Daraven's getting a helicopter up. He's setting up another energy, which is a power plant, so it's 1/3 as effective. It's not very effective, but he doesn't have too many other options right now, and I'm guessing these are going to be contested, to be fair. Does Whyeie have energy? He's got this one up here. I don't think he's got any others on this, though. Let's just have a quick look here. It's a much easier way of looking at it. No, so Whyeie really needs these energy wells over here. And if he does start struggling here, he's got 1 striker available to him. Nearly 2. It's nearly done there. And Daraven is setting up maybe a bit forward of an advance here. He's got quite a lot of structures right on the front lines here. That was a bold move. I think he should have placed them a bit further back. These mountain ranges are very good to defend with, so I usually try and place my structures, even if I think I'm going to win, behind the mountains from the opponent. Especially if I'm using artillery, because my artillery will have an advantage as the opponents are moving slow over it. Even if I start winning at first and they push me back later, I'll retreat behind the mountains. Whyeie's now bringing a lot of infantry in from this section over here. They're going to come down with 3 transport boats, but they are going to need protecting, and I think they've got more than enough protection here. Whyeie only has destroyers in the ocean, and the submarines are pretty much what's going to be the threat there. Down here, though, we got helicopters moving in, and there's absolutely no anti-air defense. But we do have strikers advancing into this area. They're coming in, actually they're going to the ocean. I thought they were coming over this way. I was looking for the command, I couldn't find it, but I see it now. The helicopters are actually on the same command as these guys here for the formation line, so they are just pushing forward and attacking these infantry. It might be good to put some pressure in now, but we are going to have to contend with these over here. We're getting another Navy yard out. He's a bit concerned seeing Navy this early on, I guess. And another bold move coming from Daraven here. He's got a silo, rocket silo, right in the main section here. It's not a bad idea either. But the opponent does have a transport boat right here, so I probably wouldn't have done that myself. But if it does go unnoticed, that could be quite a good reward later on. I was saying about Whyeie not having any anti-air, but he has started to try and produce some now. But I have noticed that Daraven doesn't actually have any anti-air either. The helicopters do good as anti-air because they do fire missiles at them. but they're not going to be enough on their own. So Daraven has expanded this way, but he's forgotten about his expanding troops. They could be gathering more territories over in this direction. But Daraven is hyper-focused on the engagement that's going on over here. His town's under threat at the minute, as these units are coming in through this section. He is trying to defend it with some units, but maybe not enough. And he's setting up some structures on this side as well, and they're going to try and push in from another direction. But I'm pretty sure that town is going to go down. It's got 3 artillery at least to deal with right here. But the artillery are focusing on the infantry now instead of the town. The town may just survive. But he does have strikers. They can probably take out that town pretty quickly. Just trying to have a look around. That rocket's being produced now, so it's not far off until that rocket will probably get fired. And I have noticed we've got commandos being produced here, along with quite a few transport jets. So he's going to be able to drop in and do a lot of damage in some specific locations. But the longer Whyeie just holds this location, the more money he's going to get from this trade route. Right, Daraven has fixed the issue over here. He's got his units out expanding once again, but he's got the same issue occurring up here and in this section here. And it's about to happen again there. We have an interceptor being called in. Maybe that was for scouting, or maybe it was to tackle air units that were here before. And I think Whyeie just called in a strike command on this structure here, but then just called it off straight away. I think they're going back to land. Yeah, they are. I was just wondering if that was a command glitch or command error there from the replays. Another structure under attack right now. But I'm pretty sure he'll be able to survive that. Daraven's actually being pushed back. He's got some transport boats in the ocean, but he's only got one boat moving forward, and he needs to let them build up a little bit. Just let a dock command there, and then they'll build up, and then delete the command, and then they'll move out as a group. Would probably be a good thing there. Or potentially just use your air units on it, because it's only destroyers there at the minute. Trying to keep an eye on that rocket over there. I don't want to miss it. Otherwise I'll have to go back through and find it. And still got some more units idling around. Daraven is clearly very focused on what is happening in the game, but unfortunately we've got a cruiser and some destroyers coming in, and they're probably going to be able to take this section out. But we have a rocket, and that rocket's ready now. I'm not sure where he's going to fire it. We've got a good engagement going on down here, but Whyeie's actually holding off pretty well. And we've got the front defensive line, but he's got the artillery backing him up in the distance there. The rocket did get fired, and it's fired over here, taking out that trade route, but almost instantly being built back up. And that rocket's within range, so he's going to be wanting to know where that came from, and it wouldn't surprise me if he tries finding that now. He's sending his strikers up in that direction. Down in this section though, a group of units did manage to get out, take out one structure. Got one left there though. Those strikers up here, I don't think they've noticed the rocket yet, but they are going to clear out the infantry, and then they could just get a transport boat across. Or even the commando drops. The defensive line is falling, so Daraven is probably going to be putting on a lot of pressure now. But even Whyeie's got a rocket in this section, and there's another rocket being built here from Daraven. The transports are bringing units across here. It wasn't coming out this way then, I don't think. I think the transports will bring them across over into this section. But I will have a quick look at the eco, as I feel like the game's about to switch a bit. So We got 1,300 from Whyeie, and from Daraven we got 1,600. So Red is actually in the lead when it comes to economy, which is not really that surprising because he's got a lot of land here. And we've had commandos drop in. We see the commands left over. They've obviously dropped in here. They've rushed around. And then they've been called into the back of the area. So I'm guessing he's expecting to build up a outpost at some point. So this defensive section was mostly a distraction. All he wanted to do there was hold it. Nothing more. He just wanted to hold it and maybe waste the enemy's units, which is what he has been doing. And he's been bringing in his units into another section. And that's the attacking force. The rocket's nearly built again over there. And this one's nearly built as well. I know I have the minimap in the corner now. Let me know if you like that, by the way. I'm probably going to be replacing that with rocket screens for a while. Whyeie is actually struggling on energy. These transport boats aren't really able to keep up with what they need to do. And by the looks of it... we got some more navy yards up here. I was wondering how he pushed back from that. The rocket's on the move. And it's coming straight down here. It's going to destroy one structure there that I saw. It killed a few units. But it did take out an energy silo. I'm not sure if that was actually worth it. A rocket costs at least 500. It's definitely more because of the rocket silo itself as well. And those things are about 200. But he did kill a few infantry along with it. But those were commandos. And as we had a look at that, these commandos are rushing around. They are being tracked though. Daraven is trying to find out where he is. He's just trying to find a location. We did just catch that rocket in the end. Taking out a lot of structures, and that one was definitely worth it. Because not only is it stopping the production of those units, destroying the structures and costing them money that way, it's also stopping the production of the units. So I said that backwards nearly. We got the strikers coming in over here, which is straight on top of these SAMs. He's going to stop them before they build up in larger numbers, and his strikers can do more damage over a longer period of time. He takes them both out. He manages to snipe another structure. I'm guessing he's going to get another one in a minute. But now this defense force is going to be pushing forward. And the navy is built up once again, but Daraven's not letting his navy build up yet. What about those commandos? They've reached their endpoint. I'm guessing they're going to probably try and capture that territory. They're taking out the energy, which is going to make Daraven struggle with his energy, but he does have a fair bit of storage. He's doing alright up there for that. But that's partly because he does need to build up these units. They're going in one at a time against this navy, and they're just not going to win. They might take out one cruiser this time though. The strikers are coming in. We've got an interceptor trying to deal with them, but with the amount of strikers, again, they're going to be able to shoot down the interceptor if they were to target. Strikers aren't very good against air units, but they can take them out. As you can see, that one goes down. I would say that was partly to do with the SAM actually, but we've got helicopters moving in. They're also good at taking out air units. But they are going to clear up a lot of the ground here. But the SAM are moving forward, so they are going to be pushing those helicopters back a little bit. What are these commandos doing? They've claimed a territory on this side now. The rocket silo goes down from Daraven, and both rockets are nearly ready again. This one I think is ready, but commandos have been dropped in over here, taking out industry over there. And they're moving through the forest, trying to seek another target. Looks like they're going for an airfield in that section. And it looks like Whyeie is slowly gaining control of the main island. Seeing at this point, if the structures were built back here, we'd have a lot more room to challenge over here. He wouldn't have lost the production so easily. Which is what makes doing the transport boats a bit surprisingly more effective than most people would think. Because your production structures are a bit more protected, being a bit further back. Looks like Whyeie's also left some of his units up there, probably focused in down here instead. We've got 2 rockets available I'm trying to keep my eyes on. What about the commanders down here? They've been cleared up, I think. The rocket's coming back in, firing onto his own area, or at least what was once his own area, but he does take out the majority of those units. That was a pretty good hit. But we still have the army on the opposite side, on the other flank to deal with. However, Whyeie does have his own rocket that he could fire back with in retaliation. It surprises me he hasn't been able to find it. He did send his strikers that way, but he just couldn't reach. I'm pretty sure that was his range. No, not quite. He could reach this area. Yep. And the rocket's been fired from Whyeie. It's going up towards here. How far is it going to go? It actually gets all the way into the production here. It takes out 1 structure, but damages 2. And that damage will be costing Daraven. But he is setting up more production. And he's trying to get a defensive line set up here, which is going to be pretty necessary at this point. However, this is quite a large open island, so defending this section isn't going to be enough to stop Whyeie on this side. And we've got even more navy over here trying to be produced and trying to stop over here. We've got some pushing through. He might be able to stop the energy from Whyeie, but he's got enough in backup over there. Whyeie's feeling a bit more confident. He's trying to set up a city here. He's got the industry on that side. Only 1 up here, but that might be a bit harder to defend. Cruisers are up in the north there, and that was it. Daraven called the game. Looks like Whyeie was able to win that from across the ocean whilst being nuked. I think both players played that well. I think Daraven was a bit too bold. I think he was hoping to get having his building so close. He wanted the units to come in on a faster and regular basis, but it just turned out to be far too risky to have them that close. Let me know what you guys think. Recently with the replays I've been struggling to get the results to come up, and it just every time this happens I have to reload up Line War, so I do apologise. Anyway, there are still 2 videos on screen either way, so feel free to click on one and I'll see you there. Thanks for watching.